Hey folks, how you doing? Mr. Carter here. Ready to do math lesson 111. Points, line segments, lines, and rays. Okay, here we go. So our target today, if I can get there, is to say I understand how to explore properties of points, line segments, lines, and rays. So we're going to be learning all about those geometric features. So here's our math message, and it's a think about question. So the question is, where do you see geometry in real life? Well, without realizing it, geometry is everywhere. So for example, you'll see a stop sign. Well, that is an octagon. That's a geometric shape. A Rubik's Cube, you'll notice it's a cube, obviously. It's a three-dimensional shape, but inside it's got squares, it's got line segments, all kinds of stuff. Soccer ball has a pentagon here and a hexagon. So, and the ball itself is a sphere. So there you go, is another geometric feature. This area rug has a lot of very interesting geometric designs as well. So geometry is everywhere. Line segments are common in our world. So line segments, which is one of the things we're going to focus on today, are common in everyday objects such as doors and windows. So here on the edge of the window, you'll notice that it's a line segment. It's a segment of a line that begins and ends and has an endpoint. Same thing here with the door. Has line segments all the way around. So let's talk about points and line segments. So a point is a point in space. In this case, we can draw a point on a piece of paper. So I'm going to draw two dots, and these dots will represent points. So here's a dot, and there's another dot. In geometry, points are labeled with a capital letter. So in this case, I'm going to name it point A and point B. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots. And here, what we have now is called a line segment. The line segment, and we know it's a line segment because it has two endpoints. So here's one endpoint, and it's point A, but that's one endpoint of our line segment, and point B is the other endpoint. The line segments are given names. So here's our line segment that I drew on the slide before. So one name for this line segment is called line segment AB. And it's written like this. So you write down the letters A and B, and then on top, you put this little mini line segment on top of it. And you see like it's got two endpoints, so it's a small little line segment on top of your letters. Now, another name for this line segment could also be BA. So again, I have the letter B and the letter A, and on top I'm going to put just a small little mini line segment on top to label it line segment BA. Now, you can flip-flop the letters when labeling line segments like I did here. First, I named it AB, and then I named it BA. And although the names are different, they refer to the same line segment, which is that line segment right here above. So this line segment on top can be line segment AB or BA. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about lines. Lines are a little different than line segments. A line that goes on without stopping. You can see the line here goes on and on and on and on. It's a line that goes on forever. Long lines everywhere. Lines are represented by extending a line segment. So here's our line segment AB that we've been using. And I'm just going to extend it in one direction going that way, and I'm going to extend it in the other direction going this way. Now, this is called a line. And it's a line, and the reason we can tell it's a line is because it's got arrows at the end. So you have an arrow here and an arrow here. Before, it had endpoints. That was a line segment. But now this is a line that goes on forever and ever and ever. And the arrows show that it does go on forever. So that, my friends, is the difference between a line and a line segment. So here's our line AB. And lines are also given names. And again, it's named line AB. It's written like this. So instead, so you have the letters A, B here, but instead of the mini line segment, you're going to label it with a little mini line with arrows on top of your letters A, B. Now another name for this sorry, that's wrong. Instead of line segment, should be line. So another name for this line, sorry, just disregard that, could be line B, A. And again, you got the letters B and A and just that mini little line on top of the letters. So just like line segments, you can flip-flop the letters when labeling a line. And again, although the names are different, they both refer to the same line, which is that line up there. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about rays. So rays are a little different than lines and line segments. A ray only has one endpoint and it goes on forever in only one direction. So I think of it kind of like a ray of sunlight. Okay, the ray starts at the sun and the light goes on forever and ever and ever, just like a flashlight. So you see here the flashlight, kind of the light starts at the flashlight and then the beams of light go on forever and ever and ever. So that's what I think of when I think of a ray. So here's what a ray looks like. Oops. So here's our line segment, AB. It's got two endpoints. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend that line segment in one direction. And now this is called a ray. It has one endpoint and one arrow showing that it goes on forever in one direction. So here's our ray, AB, and it's also given a name. But this time there's only one name for this ray, and that's ray AB. It's written like this. So you have the letters A and B, and then you got this mini little ray on top. Now pay attention to where this dot is, where the endpoint is, because that's where the endpoint is in our ray. Take a look. You cannot, and I repeat, cannot name it BA. Absolutely cannot, because the endpoint is always labeled first. So in this case, it's AB because A is our endpoint. So again, see, it's called ray AB, not BA, because the endpoint is A. So here we go. We have a line X, Y, Z. It's got points X, Y, and Z on it. And we know it's a line because, again, it's got two arrows going in each direction. Now, how many line segments can you name using the points marked on this line? Well, there are 3 line segments, and here they are. You have line segment X, Y, and again, it's a line segment because I have 2 endpoints here, little mini line segment on top. And here's where line segment XY is. So now we have line segment YZ as well, and that's where line segment YZ is. And finally, you have line segment XZ, and that goes all the way from point X to point Z. What are the alternate names for these line segments? Well, you can name XY line segment YX. And again, because with line segments, you can flip-flop the letters. So YZ will also be named ZY, and line segment XZ can also be named ZX. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about parallel line segments, lines, and rays. Here we go. So here, my friends, we have a set of parallel lines. Now, when you look at a long set of train tracks, the tracks appear to meet far in the distance, and you can kind of see that yellow arrow there. Way far away, it looks like they meet. But do they actually meet? Do the train tracks actually meet or intersect? No, they don't. Now, my question, do parallel lines such as these ever cross or meet? Well, again, the answer is no, they do not. They do not meet. So parallel lines are lines that never meet or cross. They do not intersect. Once again, here are parallel lines, and we can see that they're parallel lines because they have arrows on the end. And again, arrows show that lines go forever. Here, my friends, are parallel line segments. And I know they're line segments because they have endpoints right here and right here. And lastly, here's what parallel rays would look like. Rays, again, have an endpoint and then in one end, and they go on forever in the other direction. But wait, there's more. Just kidding. Actually, this is so this is the end of the lesson. You will have a journal page and a home link to do, and I hope this was helpful for you. And let me know if you have any questions.